The Ladies European Tour has travelled west from Shanghai in China and landed for the first time this season in Europe on the Mediterranean coast of Turkey. The 6th edition of the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open is back in the holiday destination of Belek, a sunshine paradise that's been the location for this tournament since its inception in 2008. But after previously being held at the National Golf Club, this time it's hosted by the Korea Golf Club. A new venue for a new experiment as the tour moves from the traditional Thursday-Sunday. This week, it's a first-time finish on any major golf tour on a Wednesday. A great field's gathered, including last year's Rookie of the Year, Amy Bolden. And the Welsh player arrives fresh from her best finish of 2015 so far, 4th place at the Buick Open. Then there's the legend that is Dame Laura Davies. With 84 professional titles, the 51-year-old arrived here looking to get back that winning feeling. A lot has happened to Gladys Nacera since she won in Morocco in March. The current number one on the Ladies European Tour has been laid up with an ankle injury. But she's back in time for Turkey. We're at the excellent Korea Golf Club designed by former Open champion Peter Thompson, along with Tim Lobb and Ross Perret, a par 73 measuring just over 6,500 yards. In Sunday's first-round action, plenty of birdies. Gladys Nacera putting her injury woes behind her with a 68 to stand at -5. Rolling back the years, Laura Davies showed her determination to make yet another Solheim Cup side. The 51-year-old closing with an 8th birdie of the day to get her to 7 under par. But another English player topped that. 2010 Turkish Airlines Ladies Open champion Mel Reid turned on the style. No practice round, no problem. Birdies at 13 and they're at 14. And then another at 15 for the former Solheim Cup player. And she completed her birdie bonanza with an 8th of the day at the 17th. An opening 65. On to Monday's day 2, a bogey-free round for Carly Booth. The Scot looking for a first victory after winning 3 times in 2012, finished with 9 straight pars for a second consecutive round of 70. Gladys Nacera continued her push for a second title of the season. Playing through the pain, the 3-time Solheim Cup player is in the mix at 8 under par. Best round of the day, that belonged to Pamela Pretzwell. An excellent start it's been to the 2015 campaign for the Scot, and with 8 unanswered birdies adding up to a 65, Pretzwell catapulted herself into 2nd place. After an early wobble, the overnight leader kicked on. Mel Reid found another hot streak over the closing stretch. After hitting birdies at 4, 5 and 6, she got to double digits. And then the English player knocked this one in for birdie at the 7th. Only a par at the 8th, but Mel soon got back on the birdie trail at this hole, the par 5 9th. This for 5 birdies in her last 6 holes. And a round of 69 to go with her opening 65. 12 under par, the standard set at the 36-hole stage of this Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. Mel Reid's 2-day brilliance has spread the field with 9 shots separating the top 10. At 12 under par, it's a 3-shot lead for the 2010 champion over Pretzwell. I'm Richard Kaufman, alongside former Ladies European Tour player Charlie Douglas. Another gorgeous day it is at the Korea Golf Club, and well, Charlie, I suppose it depends on Mel Reid how tight this contest could get.
Absolutely, yeah. At the moment, she's obviously taking control of this thing. 3 shots clear, but there's lots of quality lurking behind her, especially within that top 10.
€500,000, the prize fund doubled from last year. And it's steaming hot once again on the Mediterranean coast. Temperatures in the 30 degrees Celsius range, and a little bit of breeze, but just about enough to cool you down. So it's moving day. It's Tuesday, but it's still moving day. Let's find out who's been making a move. Well, Amy Bolden with an outside chance for birdie at the first. It had a good look at the hole though, didn't it? She dropped a shot at 4. No birdies actually on the card for Bolden. She's at 4 under par now. Lucy Andre, we saw all smiles there on the tee, and no wonder. This is at the par 3 second. On to the right level and set her up for the first of 3 birdies in a row. She has dropped one since then, but she's going well at 7 under. This was the putt in. And she's inside the top 5 now. Great day yesterday, wasn't it, for Pamela Pretzwell, former Curtis Cup player. Similar kind of putt to Bolden, just missing out at the first, but she has had birdies at 4, 5 and 7. Hello. She's at 12 under. Not been quite the day Carly Booth was hoping for so far. That was the safe par at the second, but she's drifted away, 3 over for the day. Gladys Nacera looking in confident mood as she came to the first, and no wonder. Look at this for an approach shot to the opening hole. At one stage it looked like it might go in for an eagle too. A birdie start for Nacera. She's had 2 birdies but 3 bogeys. And what of the overnight leader, Mel Reid, looking to try and follow Nacera in here, but coming up just a little bit short. So some work to do for Mel Reid to open up with a par. Took the putter out. Proved a good decision. Judged it nicely. She did drop a shot at 3, but got one back at 5. She remains, as she did overnight, at 12 under. But that takes her into a share of the lead, because Pamela Pretzwell, with those 3 unanswered birdies, means it's company at the top for the English player. Lucy Andre, who's only ever had 1 top 10 before on the LET, sitting nicely in 3rd position alongside the number 1, Gladys Nacera. Great move today from Sally Watson. The Scots are going well, aren't they? And this is where we're at right now, and Mel Reid with a birdie try at the 8th. 3-shot leads disappeared, Charlie.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's exactly what the rest of the field would have been trying to do. Obviously, Pamela's the one who's caught up with her at this point. And I'm sure she knows that as well. There's leaderboards out there.
But she started very slowly yesterday. She was 2 over par after 4 holes. She still got it round in 69, obviously finishing with those 5 birdies in the last 6 holes. But as you say, this is the hottest player really over the last day and a half. Pamela Pretzwell, 8 birdies, no bogeys yesterday. 3 birdies, no bogeys so far today.
Yeah, Pamela's got a very impressive iron play and a hot putter to match. So not surprised that we're seeing some nice low scoring from Pam.
Saw the greens yesterday firming up in the afternoon. It's obviously baking hot, not surprising to see, even though they had watered the greens overnight, that they had dried out. Is that going to play a factor again today, do you think?
I think it is, to be honest. I mean, I know the greenkeepers watered them that little bit extra today, because obviously the players were struggling yesterday afternoon. We saw the cut shift from +2 to +5, so big difference between the morning and the afternoon's play.
Well, it was the perfect start, wasn't it, for Gladys Nacera, but she just arrives at this 8th hole on the back of a drop shot at the par 3 7th. But she's still right there, 7 under. You'll notice the bandage there on her right foot. She is pretty uncomfortable. She said yesterday, didn't she, that it's not easy for her out there.
Oh, she's got ligament damage to her right ankle. Was on crutches just a couple of weeks ago, so doing well to even be here, but to be within 5 of the lead, keeping that injury at bay so far.
So they're off to the par 5 9th, and that's where we're off to as well.
And Carly, one of the longer hitters on tour, so out with the wood and going for the green.
Well, she needs something. No birdies yet today. It's obviously a risk. Water all the way down the left-hand side. Oh dear. That wasn't even close, was it?
Oh, that was wide even by Carly's standards.
Another pull, please, Dan. Dan, her coach, who's caddying for her this week. No such problems for this group at the moment. They're all going along fairly nicely. But it's Pamela Pretzwell who's certainly making the mark. Her last 4 results read 5th, 6th, 8th, 11th. So it's not a big surprise to see her playing as well as she is.
No, it's not. I mean, obviously she had a good season as well last year, and I think she's had such a huge confidence boost at the beginning of this season, as you say, with those really good finishes to open up her 2015 campaign. I think perhaps the Pamela of a year ago would have felt slightly nervous in this position, but her play in recent weeks, I'm sure, has just confirmed to her that she has got the game to win.
Well, she's given this one a talking to, a little bit of angst, and I think that's found the bunker. It's down that right-hand side.
It's not the end of the world. It just means that obviously going for the green in 2 is not going to be an option.
Well, Mel, much happier. It's a grassy bunker down there, isn't it, down that right-hand side, not an actual sand one.
Yeah, you can get some idea there from that angle just how thick that rough is, which is perhaps why the girls are less than impressed with those drives.
Winner in Slovakia last year, Camilla Nett. Just 1 birdie, 1 bogey so far today. It's unlucky that hasn't come back off the back of the green there, down the slope a little. Oh, she hates it. Has she gone into those trees? Oh, that's turned out pretty nicely, really. Found a route through and onto the short grass as well.
Yeah, got away with that one. I think Gladys was saying the most painful shots for her are her drives, so more of those she can tick off and start walking down the fairway, the better.
Give online number, no?
Becca Artist not having the best of days. 2 over par so far for her round. That's a fantastic shot.
Well, heading down the back 9 is Amy Bolden, another who's yet to really fire today, birdie free, and that's not going to be an easy putt either. And obviously we were talking yesterday how Mel Reid had played 1 or 2 out of contention, if you like, even some with inside the top 10. I mean, I know it's early stages and it's only day 3, but there's not that many contenders really. Lucy Andre, you have to say, who just played another delightful shot, and it is one of them.
Absolutely, yeah. Lucy's obviously within 5. You know, you look at that top 10, 10th position is currently 4 under, so you're talking 8 shots back. That's a long, long way around this golf course. The only thing that really protects it is the couple of holes we see with the water hazards and the very firm greens.
And for Carly Booth, who's already given away 3 shots today. Now, interesting place where she's dropping. Any ideas?
No, I would have thought that she has to go back to drop where the ball last crossed the hazard.
Well, she's got a referee, obviously, in tow.
Just wandered into his
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's referee Kirsty Fisher, former player on the Ladies European Tour.
They obviously think she hit the tree. Obviously, we saw what happened and she went straight into the water. But if the referee who's with her says that's fine, then that's fine. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, obviously from what we saw, we just saw the splash. If it had have hit the tree, we would have still seen the splash. So
True.
we can't really speculate that, you know, she's dropped it in the wrong place. Obviously, she's not only got 2 playing partners, but there's 3 caddies, there's a scorer, there's referees around. So I'm fairly confident in saying that she would have dropped this in the correct place.
Well, it is her 4th shot, obviously, at this par 5.
Not the easiest of shots either. Ball below her feet, coming from the rough, which is going to be difficult to stop the ball anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he's a player that, you know, won twice on the Ladies European Tour in 2012. Now outside the top 500 in the world rankings. Still reckon she can get to number 1 in the world. What's your views on Carly Booth's career?
I mean, obviously there was such high expectations when, you know, Carly was such a great player at a very young age, and she was out here playing on the early tee at sort of 13, 14 on invites when she was an amateur. So obviously she's played with a high level of expectation throughout her whole career and perhaps struggled to adapt to that. Obviously did really well a couple of years ago, but she is still so young. She's only 22. Who knows?
Well, it's been a decent day from Sally Watson, but that one coming up just a little short. I mean, Kylie Walker inside the top 10. Sally Watson is 3 under for the day, 6 under overall. She's tied for 5th. And of course, we've got a Scot at the top alongside Mel Reid as well. A couple of French players in there, Nacera, and here's the other, Lucy Andre.
Great playing from Lucy so far this week. Doesn't look like a player who's been away from the tour.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's still a very decent front 9 of 34. It's a par out in 36, back in 37 for these players, par 73. It's fair to say, I think that the pin positions are a little more accessible on the back 9.
Yeah, I think the tournament directors worked hard on these pin positions with the greenkeepers to try and make it a little more accessible with these firm greens this afternoon.
Well, Pamela Pratswell and Gladys Nacera already laid up here. And no risk taken either by Murray. Yeah, you can see the other 2 balls there. Trusting their wedge game.
Yeah, it's just not worth taking the risk on this hole, especially when you're at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, I suppose when you're in Booth's position. And we should remember she's still only 22.
Absolutely, yeah. I think because she's been playing for so long, I was actually speaking with her about this a couple of weeks ago. Everyone seems to think that she's in her mid to late 20s because she's now in her 5th or 6th season on tour.
Yeah, Michelle Wee kind of suffered from this similar kind of viewpoint, didn't she? And we all know what's happened to her. She's shone through the last couple of years.
Absolutely, and there's no doubt whatsoever in anyone's minds that Carly has the game to win out here.
Well, that's a shame. Sally Watson slipping back after making such a fine start.
Rebecca Artis with a great opportunity here for a birdie 4. Looks so solid from that range.
The limping French girl celebrates her 40th birthday on Friday. She'd love to celebrate it with her 15th Ladies European Tour title. Saw her play some fabulous shots, haven't we, over the first 2 days, particularly from this kind of range.
Absolutely, I've been very impressed with her wedge play. We say it all the time, but 100 yards and in is where these ladies make their money. Gladys is just so solid.
Oh, Sebastian's going to have to see. She's lined up again. I really wish. I don't know about you, Chat. I really wish they wouldn't do this.
Yeah, I mean, for someone of Gladys's quality, it's amazing to me that this goes on. Obviously, you see it a lot on the LPGA Tour as well. I mean, maybe it's a confirmation thing, you know, she can line herself up and she just likes to hear that it's good. I don't know.
Didn't help her too much on that occasion. That's on the wrong level. Tricky little slippery putt left. But yeah, you know, I was talking with Karen Coke yesterday, but she was in the commentary box saying, you know, she was saying, you know, lining yourself up should be part of the game. But of course it is within the rules. She's not doing anything wrong.
Absolutely, yeah. All it does is just slows it down a little. But, you know, it's very rare that we hear Sebastian tell her to step away and realign herself. At the very worst, it's move a little bit left. But yeah, as I say, maybe it's a psychological thing for Gladys, just knowing that it's good rather than standing over the ball wondering if she's lined up right.
Well, I think it's fair to say, even though we're only at the midway point of this third round, it's turning into a bit of a shootout, isn't it? Between an English girl and a Scots. Reed in tight at 9. Brent's to try and do the same.
Yeah, I'm sure these two have played each other in match play at some point as well. Back in the days of home international golf. Pammy's not happy with that one at all. And that's no surprising. Definitely not what we're used to from Pamela.
Yeah, from such a range as well. Very disappointing.
It's amazing the psychology of having water in front of you.
Well, she's had plenty of reason to feel good. "32 holes without a bogey for Pamela Bretswell."
Yeah, that's some seriously impressive stuff.
It's fairly generous off the tee, but this 10th hole is probably, along with 16, as tough as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's all about the drive here. The difficulty you have also is that the fairway slopes right to left, so as much as you aim away from the water, everything's pushing you towards it. The good thing here for Pamela is that she's got quite a lot of green to work with. And the last 6 feet or so is uphill, so despite the firmness of the greens, this shouldn't be posing too much of a problem. Looks to be sitting okay. Needs to go.
Well, she's only just inside Mel Reid, who's obviously got hers for birdie.
Perhaps we're about to see a turn.
There's a lot of undulations on these greens. They're fairly big, but you need to kind of plot your way around, don't you? If you're not on the right level like Nasera is here, suddenly a hole like this, a good birdie chance, suddenly becomes a tough two-putt to make sure you don't walk off with worse than par.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you're doing your stats and you're just looking at the footage of the putts, it doesn't really tell you the story. As you say, because of the undulations, these greens are almost sectioned, and they've put the pin positions in some tricky places at times for the players, especially considering how firm these greens are. This one particularly, just over the brow of the water, it's only 7 paces on, so realistically I don't think we're going to see many shots getting close today.
Number one right now on the order of merit, Gladys Nasera. In fact, we've got 3 players here who are in the top 8 of the Ladies European Tour rankings. So all of them have had good starts. Gladys Nasera winning in Morocco. Of course, Melissa Reid was a runner-up there. And it's good to see her back in form, isn't it? I mean, such a talent. Like Carly Booth, a lot expected of her when she's turned pro, and she has won 4 times, albeit obviously she's been through a lot personally since 2012, the year she last won it.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I know Mel's, changed coach. She's changed a lot about her life off the golf course as well, to try and get back to her best. We've obviously seen glimmers of that already this season, and from her play this week, I would suggest that she's perhaps back to her best.
But been a, what's the word, frustrating, rather stagnant front 9, 1 birdie, 1 bogey, no disaster, no problem, still in the lead. But the 3-shot advantage has disappeared. 12 under par, still very much one of the favourites here.
In tight right today.
Oh, that's unlucky.
It's such a difficult pin position because if the girls pitch it at the top of that ridge, it's just going to fly through to the back of the green. So really tricky one to get close to today.
This to stay in a share of the lead.
She hasn't hit it.
She didn't hit a chip, didn't hit a putt. First bogey of the day. First since she played the 4th on day 1. That was her 13th hole of the day.
Always hurts as well when it's a par 5.
When you're coming in with a wedge.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have thought Pam had more than about 80 yards in there. To fly the green is one thing, and then not to get up and down is a tough pill to swallow. Actually, that's not a bad result. I know she's not on the green, but
well, 27 holes of this Turkish Airlines Ladies Open still to be played. Mel Reid starting the day with a 3-shot lead. That's down to 1. The top 10 that's, well, pretty much dominated by Scots and French. Well, Crystal Bouillon has won this tournament 2 times. Mel Reid looking to join her on that list, having won here, of course, in 2010. Level par for the day, but still the leader. Her advantage is 1 shot. It's been a good day for Andre. Kylie Walker has made a nice step forward as well today, but she's dropped a shot at 12 after being 4 under for the day. Lynn Carlson, only her second Ladies European Tour event, so good work from the young Swede to be inside the top 10. As you can see, no real progress for Carly Booth and Amy Bolden. What a round from Nicole Brock-Larsen. She was looking like she was going to miss the cut. She's 11 under par for her last 27 holes and inside the top 20. That's superb stuff. Unfortunately, Laura Davis slipping down the leaderboard. 3 bogeys, just the 1 birdie on the card for the 51-year-old. Another English player, but a little bit younger in Lauren Taylor. Having a decent day, but 3 bogeys in the last 5 holes have her back at level par. Mel Reid and Gladys Nacera already teed off looking all right. And this one, I think, it's got wet.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Frustrations of the last hole. So difficult to try and let that go before you walk to the next hole.
Pretty good judgment from Rebecca Artis. Day 3 of the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open, coming from the Korea Golf Club on the Mediterranean coast of Turkey. Bathed in sunshine all 3 days long, and the weather set fair all the way through to tomorrow's conclusion, and a conclusion on a Wednesday. Yeah, the 7th event of the Ladies European Tour season, just a week and a half after the players played in Shanghai, the Buick Championship won by Shan Shangfang.
Tough putt up and over the ridge for Carly Booth. Needs to sit.
Needs to get in.
Wow, that was tracking.
That's the way to make your first birdie of the day.
Lennart going along nice and steady today. Completely square green here at number 11.
Andre just off the putting surface here, but at least on the right level.
And a big swing right to left from where Lucy sees this.
Well, unfortunately for Pamela Pratswell, compounding the error that she made on the previous hole by finding the water here. Incredible, isn't it? It goes such a long stretch without making a bogey. Suddenly you're staring another in the face 2 holes in a row.
Yeah, it just goes to show the importance of letting errors go.
Oh my goodness. Made such a good start to the day. 3 birdies, first 4 holes. Back to 6 under. And that was not the best of drops.
No, ideally that would have stayed in the tiny area of fairway that she had within her 2 club lengths. It's going to make things a lot more difficult for Pamela now. Chloe Lequan from Belgium going along nicely. 2 under par so far for her round. Wow, that one's lightning fast.
Yeah. I mean, they can chuck water on this, tons of water on this, and such is the heat here. I mean, it just dries out so quickly. When the players arrived, what, Tuesday, Wednesday last week, Thursday, these greens were soft, weren't they?
Yeah, they were soft and running at about 9 or 10 on the stimp. They're now at about 13 or 14, so big difference.
As you see, ball above her feet. We saw Gladys Nacera play a remarkable shot here and actually escape from a par after finding the water. Very similar position. But of course, this third shot, you kind of have to flirt with the water again here. Although the pin today at least is over on that right-hand side.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how far right Pamela's aiming here. That's because the lie is going to pull her ball to the left as it is. So pin location is 7 yards on from the right-hand side. And she's not happy with that one either. I'm sure she stood there thinking, how on earth did that lie not pull the ball? And she's short-sided herself for the chip as well, so she's not even looking at a given bogey now.
Playing into the hands of this young lady. Been working really hard, Mel Reid, with a new coach, Gavin Craggs, and he said a few weeks ago, Craggs, in an article, a really good one written by Louise Mayer, that she'll win soon. He said that he's the most natural winner that he's ever seen. And he's coached a few good players, Katrina Matthew, obviously amongst them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone's very much aware of the ability that Mel holds. This one looks right as well. Using the slope nicely.
Yeah, lovely shot from Nacera. Worth mentioning as well, Katrina Matthew yesterday posted a 100th top 10 on the LPGA Tour. That's some feat, isn't it?
Yeah, she's a seriously impressive player.
Well, they're all getting caught out by the firmness of the greens.
I think a lot of it is difficulty with the slopes as well, because, you know, especially if you miss the green, you're standing there knowing that you've got to get the ball up and over the slope, but then after that it's going to be really fast. So you kind of have to weigh up leaving it short or having a 6-7 footer back for your par.
Well, confirmation, Reid leads by 1, but that lead might be stretched. She might even find herself back with the lead that she had overnight.
Yeah, something that she'll be very aware of as well. Obviously she's playing with Pamela, so she'll know exactly where she's at.
Another one that races past.
Such a tricky shot now for Pamela. Coming from the rough. You can see how steep this slope is. Looks like it's nestled down in there as well. She's not the best of news.
Well, given what happened on the last hole as well, a real test here for the Scot.
I think she needs to pitch this one just on the green and let it run down to the pin. We also have to aim this one slightly right. And carried it too far, didn't she? Pitched it on the downslope, and that's not going to stop either. That's going to make its way down the big ridge through the middle of the green.
Well, now, I mean, you're saying that making bogey's going to be hard. I mean, double bogey's no certainty from there. Although we did see Carly Booth roll in that distance for a birdie.
Yeah, perhaps needs to just take a moment, Pamela. Regroup.
Oh, an agonising drop shot, and the distance between those just outside the top 5 and the very top of the leaderboard, it's getting wider.
Another chance slides by for Sally Watson as well.
Yeah, all the good work that she's put in over the first 8 holes, Pamela Pretzwell. It's getting undone here, isn't it?
The most important thing here is to get down in 2. Not bad. Still some work left in that one though.
For par for Lurquin. Well done. Wow, what sort of lead is Mel Reid going to have stepping onto the 11th tee?
Great chance this. We'll move slightly right to left. No, it didn't allow for enough break.
Well, I think it's fair to say she's finding some frustrations with the putter, and her brilliance from the first 2 days maybe stalled a little, but it's not damaging her advantage by the looks of things.
No, it's not, and you know, she'll be very much aware of the fact that she just needs to remain patient. Her iron play's good enough to stick it in close on this back 9. But as you say, you know, at the moment, Pamela put some pressure on her earlier on. That's kind of eased off a bit now, so Mel's got a little bit of breathing space.
Birdie opportunity for Nasera to try and get within 4. Well done, 3 birdies now to go with her 3 bogeys today. Yeah, she's one of those players who can really have hot, streaky days with the putter. Nasera. Sally Watson tidying up. Six around the turn. And it's a 3-shot lead again at the top for Reid. So confirmation, things looking pretty smart again, aren't they, for Mel Reid? looking for a 5th Ladies European Tour title. An event she opened up with an 81 last year, albeit on a different golf course down the road. Started very differently this year, 16 shots better off, and she's 3 shots in front on day 3 of the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. Nasera getting a little closer, but there's not that many challenges right now for the English player. Tonja Daffenrud from Norway, not been long a pro, but she's already made some mark. She played 4 events as a pro last year on the Access Tour. She won 2 of them, finished top 5 in the other 2 as well. Parfait again.
Well, that's all we seem to hear Sebastian say.
Oh, not so parfait. Right into the trees. Well, good, bad, indifferent? I don't think we know yet.
No, I just wonder whether it stayed in the canopy of the tree. Let's have a look. Straight into the middle of them.
Par 5, 11th. Fairway found for Reed.
Pamela just needing to steady the ship now. There's no damage done. This is where we started this morning, so clean slate on this back 9. This looks left as well.
Oh, middle stump. Well, I suppose a nice break in terms of it's gone in the middle of the fairway, but she's a long way in at this par 5 for a second shot.
Yeah, that's a long way back. Okay, so the old duck hooks on that one.
Yeah, turning into a bit of a crisis for Pamela Peretzwell. It's amazing how quickly things can turn. It's the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open, and what a special day for Turkey. It's a national holiday here, the commemoration of Ataturk, a youth and sports day to commemorate the beginning of the Turkish War of Independence. But this is a holiday destination anyway. Every day's a holiday around here. Well, fight back on for Carly Booth. Birdie at the last, this for Eagle.
A good judgment of pace. Working her way back to where she started her day. Knock that in. Get her back to +2 for the day. And back to -4.
And listen, we know it's not impossible that she could win this tournament from here.
Absolutely not. You know, she's perfectly capable of shooting a low number.
Lurkan, who has won in Turkey, and actually won a amateur title here a few years ago. Gladys Nasera. Well, surrounded. She's surrounded. But has she got a swing? Don't think so.
I think from that exasperation, I would suggest not.
I mean, she can knock one out. She still should be able to reach in 3 at the par 5. Also in amongst the trees, Camilla Leonard. I mean, the fairways are pretty wide here. I mean, honestly, it's obviously a lot easier sitting in the commentary box. It's no wind out there. Surprised to see so many players having the troubles they are.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple of situations out there where you've got trees in the middle of the fairway, and psychologically, you do try and steer it round the trees. Obviously, we've got a couple of holes with water, and the fairways are undulating. So, although they're wide, they still need to be very specific about their aiming points, what point of the fairway they actually want to be on. Great looking putt from Andre.
Well, that's the way to respond. Mr. Tiddler at 10 holds a monster at 11.
Dans la direction du gros tronc, du gros arbre là-bas.
Well, I don't know if Sebastian's going to be able to line her up here, is he?
No, unless he's going to get into the tree.
I mean, it's not too bad considering it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it's actually not as bad as I thought. I thought that her backswing was going to be impeded by that back tree there, but she's definitely got a shot of sorts. Albeit just a chip out.
Camilla Leonard, who was keeping a close eye on the scores from Spain the first few days she was here. Her boyfriend Christopher Broberg obviously off to Wentworth now for the PGA Championships. I'm sure he's keeping an eye on her scores, right? He might even well be watching.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. He'll lose brownie points otherwise, won't he?
Yeah, of course I was watching, yeah. Well, Pamela Pretzel had to lay up here after her tee shot smashed against the trees and came out onto the fairway, albeit a long way back. Well, after everything that's happened, they're all as they were overnight.
Absolutely. Psychologically, I'm sure that's more difficult for Pamela at the moment than it is for Gladys or Mel. Seeing as she'd made a move and caught Mel at 12 under par, but...
To give yourself more green, yeah. I mean, you don't really want it going down in this ball.
Gladys still a long way back after that chip out. Looks like she's going with a hybrid. Really tough pin to get at, right at the back of the green and just off the left side, so I'd imagine nothing too greedy here. Less than impressed.
Just come up short right by the looks of things. But in reach for Reed. A real chance for her to assert some real authority on this third round.
Yeah, looks like she's going with a 4-iron. Asking for it to draw. That was a lot of club. Tough putt here. Not too bad.
Almost in camouflage today, isn't she, Lurkat?
Albeit neon. Lots of neon around on the golf course.
The 12th tee for Rebecca Artis. That's okay.
Sweating a little bit.
Learn it now for birdie. Well, after being trouble with the tee, actually that was for par, wasn't it? So a drop shot, unfortunately, for the Swede. Two shots going, 2 holes. Well, this event growing, isn't it? Turkish Airlines have put on a proper event this week, haven't they? Doubled the prize fund, as I was saying earlier. 19th of May, special day in Turkish history. They doubled the event, and of course this is a course where they could actually play at night time. It's completely floodlit.
Absolutely, you see it actually in the evenings. They light it all up. Looks very pretty.
You played at night before?
I have. I've played night golf in Dubai at the Emirates Club on their par 3 course over there. So it was interesting, to say the least. Good fun though.
Well, Pretzel, after finding the tree off the tee, managed to smack one down to here. The short game just starting to let her down, isn't it? I mean, from where she was, that's, especially by her standards, a poor effort.
Yeah, that is very, very poor from Pamela. Total misjudgment of pace and line.
Well, players getting a little baffled and bemused right now. Well, she just remains rock solid, doesn't she, Mallory? It's pretty much in control of her emotions.
Yeah, I mean, level par for her round today. As you say, she's not done anything amazing, but
And that was...
baffling. I'm not quite sure what happened there.
No. Is the heat getting to them?
Could possibly be the heat, perhaps a little bit of frustration as well.
Really expected both Pretzel and Reed to be inside 6 feet, really. It wasn't a bad lie there for Mel either.
I was actually going to say, of the three, I think Gladys has the harder of the 3 chip shots, so given the result of Pamela and Mel, it'll be interesting to see what Gladys can produce here.
Well, we know this green's firm. We've seen other players struggle to keep the ball short of the hole.
Yeah, I think perhaps Mel was frightened by the result of Pamela's, and Gladys obviously saw Mel come up short, so sometimes it's best to look away.
It's got the physio of the French Golf Federation with her this week, Bernard Pinault, just in case she needs some extra physio work. Well, she's kept the bogeys away, Sally Watson, but it's been all par since last birdie at 6. Well, a much longer birdie putt than, I'm sure, given a tee shot, what she was expecting.
Even given the second shot. We've seen so many times, you know, when Mel perhaps doesn't hit the best of shots, she's so determined to make up for it. No birdie for Mel Reid.
Yeah, we're talking about Gladys's injury. She actually felt a problem in China a few weeks ago, a wrist injury. It turned out to be nothing too serious, and she's been working hard with Kevin Craggs in between then and now, back home.
Frustrating few holes for Pamela.
Yeah, to go 5, 6, 5 around the turn, albeit 2 of those were pars. Onto the par 3 13th with Lurkan, playing 142 yards, slightly uphill. Well, that wasn't far away from being a good shot. Now look at it. It can be a cruel game sometimes.
Yeah, that's going to be tricky from there as well.
Well, this to see them all off this hole with a par 5. Oh, robbed. She was getting ready to pick the ball down the hole, wasn't she?
I think we were all doing it for her, weren't we? Looked good all the way. Just cannot afford to bogey these par 5s at this stage. Obviously we saw it with Pamela at 9. Nasera at 11. If they're going to catch Mel, can't afford to be doing that. Well poised finish of Lucy Andre. Another fine iron shot.
Well, she's currently in a tie for 3rd position alongside her compatriot Gladys Nasera. It's been a tough little spell for Pamela Peretzwell, who did get to the top, but 6, 6, 5 at 9, 10 and 11 have seen her slip back to 9 under. Mel Reid, you can't say too much is happening for her, but she won't mind as long as she maintains that 3-shot advantage at the top of the leaderboard at the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. Titia Pluck-Satterporn, the Thai player, has made a nice move today, hasn't she? Although I'm hearing she's just dropped a shot at 16. Carly Booth trying to get things back on track. 68 today from Brie Arthur. That's obviously on a par 73, around of 5 under to take her just inside the top 10. And look at the move from Nicole Brock-Larsen. 9 over par after 27 holes of this tournament. 27 holes later, she's at 2 under. 66 that's taken her from 55th at the start of the day to 2 under, alongside the likes of Laura Davis, who is 1 over par for her round. Needs to sort her driving out, doesn't she?
Yeah, Pamela's usually such a good driver of the ball. That's more like it. Nice shot from Lena, using that slope perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone back on track it seems. Booming drive from Lucera. It's all gone a little stale, hasn't it, really, all round?
Yeah, I am very surprised that we've not seen anyone at the top really push Mel. Who knows, maybe that's about to change.
So Wednesday is going to be the new Sunday on the Ladies European Tour this week. A new experiment, and I think it's gone down very well. Of course, a Wednesday finish. When you look at the number of tournaments around the world, I made it 10 tournaments, concluding Saturday and Sunday around various parts of the world on different tours at the weekend. Challenge Tour, European Tour, Japan, all over the place. It's a good concept, I think, to expose the ladies' game, the Ladies European Tour. What's your view?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a really good decision from the tour and everyone involved in this tournament to play it Sunday through to Wednesday. Obviously opens up everything for TV viewings. It's not going to clash with something that other people might want to watch, another tournament. So, yeah, I think it's a great decision. It's one that I know the players have embraced.
It's a little tricky, I suppose, if you try and mix it up playing LPGA Ladies European Tour, because in effect, if there were 2 events back-to-back in America, you'd have to miss 2 tournaments to play 1 in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if it's something that's going to continue week in, week out on the LET. I guess a lot of it will depend on how this week goes in terms of evaluation.
Shame for Carly that after those couple of birdies. Takes another step back, drop shot. Well, it's a dangerous pin position, isn't it? They've pushed the tee forward there to make it a little shorter. That's an excellent golf shot from Sally Watson. Got these tall eucalyptus pine trees that dominate this golf course. They're rather dramatic, aren't they? Looking.
Lucy Andre with a chance for another birdie.
It's all rather noisy down there, isn't it? Not obviously where Mel Reid wants to be.
I'll definitely be getting some sort of relief from that. But as with these things, it's nearest point of relief, not necessarily the nicest point of relief.
Steve Kavanagh, the tournament director, is having a look at this one. It's Mark Wallington who's on the bag for Mel. Has been since Dubai at the end of last year. He's had a few good bags, hasn't he, in the past?
Absolutely, yeah. Been on the bag of Michelle Wee, Lydia Ko, and Charlie Hull at the Solheim Cup as well.
All getting a little hot under the collar, one or two. You can understand why. Birdie's hard to come by. Temperatures in the 90s. Still, at least the swimming pool does await at the end of it all.
Yeah, very nice swimming pool it is as well.
Well, swimming pools.
Yeah, there's multiple, and the beach. Very nice resort we have this week.
Unfortunately, Mel Reid not on the kind of beach she's looking for, really.
And that tidies up nicely.
Well, I mean, it's the kind of day if Mel could have shot another round of 69, 68, I'm not saying it would have been done and dusted, but she would have been extremely hard to catch. But given the fact that she's also not being able to find the kind of score that she'd have been hoping for, especially given the way she played the first 2 days, it means it's still a good contest we've got on here.
It is, yeah. I mean, in terms of her score and her position, it's there for the taking. No, there is still quite a lot of space in that top 10 at least. But I'd say if you're within 5 or 6 at this point, definitely still doable.
Well, one of those is Sally Watson. This to get 5 back. This for a birdie at the par 3. Second to Amy Bolden, Sally last year in the Rookie of the Year race. Been a while since Gladys was a rookie. But the way she's playing, she's got a chance this week to almost seal a place at a full Solheim Cup. But again, head down, the body language today isn't particularly good. I take it she's in a lot of pain.
I mean, I would imagine so. She came off the course yesterday and said that the ankle was really hurting her. Obviously, she's got it well strapped up. The difficulty this week with the heat is obviously that's going to swell in these temperatures. No doubt cause her that extra level of pain, which she could really do without.
Yeah, Karin Cope, the Solheim Cup captain, is here this week. She's just missed the cut by 1 shot, but she's sticking around watching the players and talking about all the preparations, how they've been going. They went down to St. Leon-Roth in Germany a couple of weeks ago with Fanny Sunderson and Sophie Gustafsson. So Mel's got a lot to work out here. It's taking a while, isn't it? I mean, it's trying to find a route towards the green.
Yeah, it's also, she might not be able to see the green from where she is. It's all about placement for the 3rd shot, really. And if she can get to the green, that's a bonus. So lots of work to do with her caddy there.
Yeah, commit to it.
Well, you heard.
See the left end of the TV tower? Yeah. Just draw it off that. Really commit to it, pal, okay?
Draw it off the left edge of the TV tower. I think that's what Mark said.
Yes.
So Mel just confirming there that should this stay straight and not draw as she's been instructed, it will still be okay. So she's just aiming. The TV tower is just to the left of this little tent in front of her, as you can see. Caught that so heavy.
Oh my goodness me. Compounded the problems. I mean, actually that isn't too bad. It could have gone in all sorts of problems, but still not good. But as I say, could have been worse.
Yeah, I mean, the difficulty with that surface is obviously it's pretty much like a bunker, and she's trying to hit that shot clean and not take any of the sand and the debris around. Perhaps caught too many. Just so easy to catch those shots heavy.
Just be careful.
They're not sure actually where the ball is, but it's down towards that tree.
Leading Steve again.
Well, it's all taking a bit of time, and it's a shame. We've seen some glorious golf, haven't we, this week, Charlie? But it's all been a bit ragged, hasn't it, over the last hour?
Okay. All right, that's fine. Just play from here, yeah?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, Mel just confirming there that she's to play the ball as it lies. You can see.
I mean, it could have hit the tree. It could have ended up in some...
Actually got very lucky that it didn't hit that tree in front there and that it's bounced out of that rough and all the way down onto the cut path. I'm not sure that she has a line to the green, though. It looks like she might.
Well, again, Mark's having a look at what her aim point should be. Just to remind you, Nasera on the green. Pretzwell's also on the putting surface as well, we understand.
Can we go left this corner? Really?
No.
Delicate touch required from Lucy Andre. She'll only be able to see the top half of the pin from where she is. She's quite far down there. Very nice touch.
Yeah, going with home colours, blue and white. Third shot then for Mel Reid. Tournament leader in a spot of bother here at 12.
I think that's missed the green left.
The troubles continue.
It's going to be a very firm chip. I think we both thought the same there.
Well, it's been a bit of a wait, hasn't it, for Pretzwell and Nocera? A long time for them to have a look at their birdie putts that are going to come up.
Yeah, I think in some ways they won't mind it, you know, to stand there knowing that the person in front of them is having a little bit of bother. It's going to help their cause, that's for sure.
And depending what Mel does, not just here, but obviously as she comes in, it could play one or two other players that we thought maybe out of the equation. It could bring them back into things for Wednesday's final round.
Yeah, I mean, if Mel's got to get up and down from here for her bogey, and that's certainly not easy from where she is, so potentially dropping back to -10 suddenly brings the rest of the top 10 into play, whereas we were perhaps only looking at the top 5. So a double bogey looking more than likely for Mel Reid.
And given the way she played over the first couple of days, I know she double bogeyed par 3 yesterday, the 13th, the hole she's coming to next. She short-sided herself there, but I mean, that apart, she's played magnificently. So a big surprise to see her not be making the same strides today.
A very quick putt there for Carly Booth. You see she barely touched that.
Yeah, a bit of meat on that bone, isn't it? And there's a lot of those looks out on the course right now. You know, if looks could kill, that kind of thing. Better pace from Bretzwell. Left it in the jaws, but given the way things have panned out for her the last few holes, that's a good solid par, and particularly given Reed's woes at the moment, she's going to be closer to the top again. This for bogey, of course, for Mel.
In line for me.
So it's going to be a double bogey 6 for Reed, and she goes back to 10 under par. This would be a good par, wouldn't it, for Lucy Andre if she could roll this one in?
Absolutely. Oh, disappointing.
What is with her? She missed a short one, holds a big one, missed a short one again.
It's tough out there in that heat, and obviously she's perhaps seen that Mel's not making a move. She's within 4.
Not anymore, she's not.
No.
Well, I beg your pardon, she is, obviously, because
yeah.
Mel's gone back to 10 under. She won't realise it, but that bogey actually gets her closer to the lead. Gladys Nasser, well, not happy, but at 7 under par, she's going to be just 3 shots away from the top.
Yeah, Gladys is definitely not somebody you'd want lurking in the shadows.
Well, we haven't seen much of Amy Bolden today, have we?
4 over par for her round today, Amy. Not the day she was after.
No, she had a double bogey at 10. No birdies on the card. Well, it's a glorious day in Belek, but it's fair to say most of the players aren't really enjoying the sunshine. It's been a fascinating watch, even if not the kind of watch we were kind of expecting. We've seen a couple of 65s out on the course this week. Seen a 66 today from a very talented young Danish player, Nicole Brock Larsen. But the leaders not faring so well.
Yeah, the best scores of the day coming early on. The leaders struggling.
Is that just because the greens are drying out?
Yeah, I think it's partly that, and obviously the pressure of being near the top.
Well, she is still the one to chase. Mel Reid leading, but a double bogey at 12 means her lead is back down to just 1 shot.
Really needing to push on now. Suddenly, things are looking very different. Gladys and Sarah within 3 of Mel.
Parfait.
Tricky pin today, 12 paces on and 8 from the left. Such a difficult location to stop the ball, and as you can see, Gladys is making its way back down that ridge, and that's not going to be an easy putt from there.
Right? Good solid line, right? Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm sure the irony's not lost on Reed. Off the back of a double bogey. At the only other hole, she's double bogeyed so far this week.
That sounded slightly heavy.
Stick, stick.
That's the dangers of coming up short, isn't it?
More trouble for the leader.
Well, how are you?
Well, this Korea Golf Club has hosted a professional tournament before. Turkish Airlines Challenge on the Challenge Tour back in 2010. Charlie Ford won that. Brandon Grace was up there. Rhys Davis actually won the tournament here a few weeks ago. That was at the Gloria Golf Club, not far from here. Can't find a birdie. Amy Bolden, who's normally so hot with the putter as well.
Yeah, I think the problem is she's not quite hitting as close as she's been doing lately.
This is a tough spell, isn't it, for Reed?
Just needs to steady the nerves. Very similar spot to Lucy Andre. Up and down is a must to steady the ship.
That was a birdie for Camilla there. Still a long way back though. But as I say, given Reed's problems, someone like Lennox maybe just edging a little closer to being back in contention, even if she hasn't had the kind of day she's been looking for.
Yeah, Leonard now back at -3. That needs to sit. And work to do.
Yeah, important putt coming up, you feel, for Reed.
Yeah, doesn't look happy out there today, does she?
I got to say, there isn't too many out there that have been smiling.
Yeah, Sally Watson's one of them, 4 under par for her round. She's up to -7.
Yeah, and she's missed a few as well, from what we've seen. Kylie Walker's 4 under today. She won twice last year. Good to see her showing a bit of form. And, you know, it all depends what Reed does. And obviously, Pratswell and Sarah towards the end, whether those players still have a good chance.
Yeah, I think Pamela looks a little bit more comfortable now than she did a few holes ago. Very uncharacteristic missed 6-footer there from Amy Bolden.
She keeps knocking on the door, doesn't she? I mean, you eventually think she's going to win a tournament, Amy Bolden. But obviously it doesn't look like it's going to be this week.
5 over par for her round, so definitely not the day that she was after. Very tricky putt here, lots of work going into the line with caddy Sebastian. She's gone the wrong side of this ridge.
You'd think Mel Reid might be interested in the last third of this putt.
Absolutely, yeah. Gladys is staring a double breaker in the face with this one. Going up and down the slope. And there's the down the slope.
Well, good news for Andre is there looks to be a route through here at 14. Sand in the face, though, never a pleasant experience.
Yeah, especially not if you've got sun cream on. It seems to stick.
And with the temperatures reaching almost 100 here, you need the sun cream. As I found out to my... yeah.
Huge putt now for Mel Reid. Psychologically, if for nothing else. Just to save par and stay at -10, leading by 1.
Brilliant. What a great up and down that is. Much needed for Reid. And hopefully she can, for her sake, kick on from here. As I said previously, important part, wasn't it? And a reassuring word from Mark as well. Well, equally as important, I suppose, for Nasera, isn't it?
Yeah, tough as well, putting through her own shadow.
Can't believe it.
I bet she can't believe that it's gone that way. The first putt she hit broke left to right. So technically that putt should have broke right to left, and it broke left to right.
It's not just the foot that's hurting now, is it?
Nicely in. And despite the trials and tribulations through the middle section of her round, Pamela's still level par today, so going along not too bad at all. Carly Booth 3 over for her round.
Yeah, just worth noting that Laura Davis has just had a couple of birdies recently. It's gone up to 3 under par now.
This Andre's third. Nice distance she's left herself. Doesn't like it though. Not good at all.
Yeah, we're just seeing some... I no wonder she's scratching her hair. We're seeing some, at times, inexplicable shots. And these are players that have, you know, over the first couple of days have generally, obviously, given the position on the leaderboard, been playing very nicely.
Yeah, it's quite erratic play as well, and disappointing to see that coming from 100 yards and in, really. This is where these girls are so good. Perhaps Rebecca Altis can produce the goods. swing from Pamela down the 14th.
Yeah, there was some talk here at 14 that they were going to move the tee forward, but they've kept it back. It's pretty much a three-shotter for everyone, this, in terms of a par 5.
Not the longest of par 5s, but water cutting into the fairway, and that's a huge drive from Mel Reid.
Yeah, beautifully struck.
Some 20-30 yards past Pamela Pretzwell.
Yeah, it's more like it. 3 nice drives. Well, it may be a Tuesday, but it is moving day, isn't it? On the Ladies European Tour at the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. But fair to say for most, it's been a day for standing still. But look at Laura Davis, another birdie at 17. 3 in her last 4 holes. And is she making a comeback here? She's 5 adrift of her fellow Englishman, Melissa Reid, who still leads, albeit now at 10 under par. Worth picking out Nana Madsen as well, isn't it? The young Danish rookie who's 6th on the order of merit. Obviously the leading rookie so far this year. 2nd best score of the day. 1 worse off than her compatriot Larson. Some good young Danes in coming through, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Great play all round, really. The LET is becoming a real source for ladies golfing talent.
There is that 66 from Larson. So there are some good scores out there. I mean, 68, that's 5 under par, 73, don't forget.
Up and down, really essential here for Lucy Andre. Such a fast chip.
By the way, that was not a 3rd birdie in 4 holes for Laura Davis. It's 2 birdies and an eagle.
Very nice indeed, Laura.
Yeah, it's one of those days for Lucy Andre. She's had some fabulous golf in there and some shots in there that she'll look back at tonight and think, why?
Yeah, it's what's commonly known as a very mixed bag. Quick right to left here for Rebecca Altis. What a putt from Rebecca Altis.
Well, every birdie means a lot, doesn't it, at the moment? That gets her up to 5 under. All the players safely down the 14th. If there's a hole that you think these girls are going to birdie, a couple of par 5s here on the back 9. This at 14, obviously 17's a very good birdie chance. Might see 1 or 2 eagles. In fact, Laura Davis just eagled that hole.
A tricky pitch pin to get at today here on 14 though. Very, very tight to that water and with such firm greens. Any birdies, I would imagine, are going to be coming from a fairly long putt.
No one risking taking this on, though, are they?
No, not at this stage in the game.
Well, prior to the start of this tournament, some of the players got together at the Regnum Carrier Hotel.
Do you know what? Let's do it. GB versus Europe. I would love to. 1,000 euros to charity. Let's go down to 18. Right now? Right now.
Hold a second, it's dark outside.
Don't worry, I'll sort that. Follow me. Okay.
Never mind the dark. Maria Balakove, Amy Bolden and Clara Spilkova followed Booth down to the 18th tee.
All right. Lights on.
This is the first time the Ladies European Tour has played a tournament on a floodlit course. Another example of how the Tour is trying to break the mould. And the ladies in their finest showed off some of their finest golfing abilities on the closing hole at the Korea Golf Club. The glamorous girls put on quite a show. And while they all had to adjust to playing under the lights, it didn't stop them from finding their target. But it was last year's Rookie of the Year, Amy Bolden, who knocked it in closest.
It's a good strike.
And it was good fun, wasn't it? With Carly's caddy Dan, not just in charge of carrying her clubs, it seems. So down to the birdie chances, Clara Spilkova for Team Europe. Not quite finding her range. Bolden had this for the win for Team GB. A fab birdie, much to everyone, particularly Carly's delight.
Thank you.
Haka Duran, the general manager of the Regnum Carrier, handed over the €1,000 check to the winners, which was obviously given to their designated charity. A sprinkle of champagne, and despite Bolden here holding the winning putt, Booth in charge of the celebs.
Right, we're going to celebrate in style.
In a manner that she can only perfect. Not just the champagne, is it, that can make your head spin. Great way, though, to get this Turkish Airlines Ladies Open underway. Looked good fun, didn't it?
It did. I'm not sure I'd want to partake in the backflipping, though.
That's more like it. That's what we expect from Nasera. Very nice shot.
Now would be the time to knock one in close. Not a bad effort, just the wrong side of that ridge.
Oh, splendid shot from Bretzwell. One of a whole bunch of players from that Curtis Cup winning team of 2012 who are seemingly going on to bigger and better things. Yeah, they've pushed the tee right up here at 15.
I'm sure that's welcomed by the players.
Yeah, trying to, I think, tease them into that flag.
Yeah, I was going to say they've moved the tee up, but they've been pretty cruel with that pin position. Although the aim here will be the tall light tower that you see in the middle of the green as the slope will bring it all the way in. That's a nice shot from Carly Booth.
Yeah, it's only 139 yards in from where they're hitting it. Yeah, no, off the back of a couple of bogeys. She's had 3 bogeys and an eagle on this back 9 so far, just the one part.
Looks good. Just broke at the last minute.
Well, what a pity for Rita, especially as it looks like she might have company in a moment. At 10 under par, Pretzel in pretty tight.
Great opportunity here for Gladys. It's to get to 7 under, within 3 of the lead.
Having one of those days that you see a little too often from Nasera, don't you? With the putter, as I say, when she's on, she looks unbelievable with it, but it's kind of the club that frustrates her most.
Yeah, it's tough to watch as well. Someone of Gladys's capabilities to struggle at times on the greens.
But this, for Pretzel, is to rejoin Mel Reid once again at the top of the leaderboard. She did it after she birdied 7, then she went 3 back again. Wow.
Speechless. That could have been no more than 2 feet. Just pushed it. And Mel's off the hook.
Well, Pretzel's actually further away now for par than she was for birdie. Well, actually, it's about the same, actually.
Just cannot believe that she missed that putt. I mean, there's missing a short putt, and, you know, had that been match play, I'm sure everyone in the world would have said pick it up, it's a gimme.
Yeah, they are missed, but not often for a share of the lead. Dad's going to have a word or two there.
Just forgot to hit that one. A lot of work still left as well.
Now, Laura Davis putting in a fine back 9. It could get even better here. Oh, what a shame. And she was on such a run. She was 4 under par for her last 4 holes. But it's still a very good round in the end. She dropped a couple of shots right at the start of the day, and she gets it in 2 under for the day. Round of 71. The 77 yesterday maybe has cost her a real tilt at the title, but Davis firmly inside the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even write Laura off. 5 under par. She's within 5 with a round to go.
Oh.
Andre comes close again.
Yeah, you just know Laura's capable of anything, really, isn't she?
Absolutely. We saw in day 1, you know, all it takes is a couple of good holes, the smiles on her face, enjoying it out there.
You kind of feel, though, in a row, I know it's only one putt, but that was a great chance for a birdie at the last. Just could have got a step closer.
Yeah, 4 sounds a lot better than 5, doesn't it? In terms of distance from the leader.
But it's great, isn't it? 51, still competing. I mean, she nearly won an event on the LPGA Tour in Japan at the end of last year.
Yeah, very much still got the game to compete out here.
I mean, these girls are, what, 30 years younger than her. Girls like Carly.
Yeah, it's very impressive stuff from Laura.
Just waking back on the tee. Bretzwell, I'm sure, would like to put the frustrations of that last putt behind her, but maybe not such a bad thing. She's got a little while to simmer down.
Yeah, she's either simmering or stewing, one or the other.
But you were saying to me earlier this week, she's probably one of the most laid-back players. You never know actually what's going through her mind. She's not that demonstrative, is she?
No, I mean, obviously we saw through the middle of the round the wheels were falling off a little bit, and you know, the camera's in her face and you couldn't really tell, other than a mere mutter under her breath. Her body language remained the same.
Even on that short miss putt, I mean, there wasn't really a big reaction, was there?
No, she's definitely one to stay calm. Becca Artis to tidy up for par. Just snuck in on the left.
I mean, it is extremely hot out there. Temperatures in the 30s Celsius, in the 90s Fahrenheit. But it's not as oppressive, say, as somewhere like Asia. It's a drier heat.
Yeah, I mean, the humidity is not that bad here, so it's not that suffocating feeling that you get in Asia. It's just hot heat.
Well, another wonderful shot. I mean, she's just about as close as she was on the last screen. Surely that's a putt there to get to 10 under.
Yeah, it's determination for you.
And that's what we were just speaking about, that even temperament. That's why it can be such a useful weapon.
Oh, it's such a huge weapon. I think this game is at least 80% in the mind, and if you can keep your mind calm despite what's going to happen out there, it's the 15th club, if you like.
Yeah, pretty good tee shot as well from Reed, but very ordinary compared to what preceded.
Gladys opting for the right side of the tee box. Tends to open up the green a little more to attack that left pin. And attack it is exactly what she does.
Yeah, and of course, as they're coming in with short irons, able to get the ball to stop a little quicker than, say, the previous par 3. Not too far away from the hotel at this point of the golf course, 15 and 16.
Yeah, just the other side of the road. Sally Watson behind the tree here at 18.
Well, she's just birdied 16 and 17, and she could finish with 3 in a row. This is going to be one of the rounds of the day. She's 5 under, 8 under in all, and she's bursting through the pack, isn't she?
Yeah, Sally got sister Rebecca on the bag this week. I was at the airport with Rebecca. Left a few days of her accountancy job to come and caddy for sister Sally.
Yeah, normally you'd say, well, you know, if I caddy at the weekend, you can't say that this time, can you?
No, absolutely not.
You made the show, wasn't it?
It is the kind of week to bring the family members along, though, isn't it?
Absolutely. We are absolutely spoilt this week.
Pamela's got her dad, obviously, on the bag, Pamela Pretzwell. But she's also got a friend with her. Her mum's here as well. Her fiancé, though, who's a baker, I think I'm right in saying.
Oh, he's a busy man, then.
Well, at least he's finished by now. He's probably watching, getting up very early. But he's not here this week. He's going to be caddying in Holland.
Can really see actually from this camera angle the severity of the slope that Mel Reid is going to be dealing with on this putt for birdie. Similar putt to Rebecca Artis, who came up a good 4 or 5 feet short. Definitely had the line, just didn't have the legs.
Surely this time, though, she's going to be joined by Pamela Pretzwell at the top.
I would hope so. I don't know quite what that would do to Pamela's confidence if she was to miss 2 2-footers in 2 holes.
Two over par for the day. Mel Reid. There's a lot of things you can do. I know some of the players were doing a bit of archery earlier in the week, and there's a bowling competition going on amongst some of the players in the hotel, but I'll tell you what, I prefer bowling and a bit of archery to that, wouldn't you?
No, that's more me.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's certainly more Mel. She loves her extreme sports,
I know,
doesn't she?
yeah.
I bet she's done that.
Yeah, she probably has. I know she's skydiving and all kinds.
Gladys, well, given her injury problems, just needs her feet on the ground, doesn't she?
Yeah, absolutely.
She actually hurt herself coming out of a golf cart. She was at Valderrama, where they played the Ryder Cup a few years back. Coming out of a golf cart, she just twisted it. Tore ankle ligaments. It's been a real up and down few months. She won in Morocco. Then she was right near the top of the leaderboard after day one of the first major of the year, the Anna Inspiration. And then she shot a second round 80, ended up missing the cut. Then has to sit on her backside for a month. And here she is contending again.
Oh, very impressive stuff.
Now, come on, Pamela.
This is actually a much harder putt than the last hole. Putting through her shadow down the hill. This one does move slightly right to left.
Right in the middle of the hole. Thankfully, lightning doesn't strike twice for Pretzwell, and she is back in a share of the lead.
Sally Watson to get to 9 under.
Well, she had a very good first season, didn't she? On the Ladies European Tour. Didn't turn pro until, fairly late, especially when you compare it to the likes of Lydia Ko, etc. But another talented Scot. There's a few of them around. And she's in contention, isn't she, heading into final day Wednesday. Still a bit of golf on Tuesday, though, for this third round of the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open to be completed. And it's got a little tighter, hasn't it, at the very top of the leaderboard. There's some of the young guns making a mark out there. Tonja Daffenrud, talented Norwegian. Nana Madsen, who's having a fabulous rookie year. 3 Scots in the top 10, but it's an Englishman alongside Bretswell who lead the way. That's 68 from Watson, leaving her at 3rd place. She's going to have a later tee-off time tomorrow, isn't she? Lynn Carlson, just a 2nd Ladies European Tour event for her. 3 birdies, 2 bogeys on the card. Still got a couple to play, and 17 probably the easiest hole on the course today.
Yeah, really good chance. Well, a good chance for an eagle 3 actually here at 17, especially if you get the drive away.
16 is probably one of the hardest holes on the course. Certainly was playing that way yesterday. But it's a little more inviting, the pin position today, isn't it?
Yeah, that right section of the green is about as nice as it's going to get for the players.
It's a tough driving hole, isn't it? 16. Well, now it looks like there's a lot of room to the left, but obviously you're playing at a bit of an angle.
Yeah, the fairway slopes left to right as well. Oh, this is going right.
But on terra firma, at least. Well, there's a reaction here.
Yeah, just about facially. That's about all you're going to get from Pam.
What a superb strike that is from Reed. Well, Pamela Pratswell off target here at the 16th, Reed comfortably down the middle. Now Sarah, the 3rd to strike at this 16th hole.
Doesn't look happy. I'm guessing this is left. That's where her bad drive tends to go this week.
Well, she's had to moderate the swing to compensate for the injury.
Yeah, I think there's a lot less weight transference going on, and perhaps the hands and arms coming into play a little bit more than she would ordinarily like. It's really flicking at it and turning it over with her hands. You can see there's just going left, left, left.
One's gone left, one's gone right.
Well, this is a hole further. I should say this is just further up the hole. Cardi Booth just off the green here at 16. Yeah, brother Wallace was among those that played in the Challenge Tour down the road here a few weeks ago. Apparently her brother, Paul, the other brother, who's got Down syndrome, he's going to try and compete in the Special Olympics in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he's a prolific winner of many weightlifting titles.
Because wasn't Dad a bit of a strong man?
Yeah, he was indeed, and he was the coach, the Olympics coach as well. So
He won a medal, didn't he? Their dad at the Commonwealth Games at wrestling many years ago.
yeah, also a security guard for the Beatles as well.
Yeah, at the Cavern. They've closed that down now, though,
Yeah.
haven't they, the Cavern? Yeah, he must have been pretty burly to be a doorman there. You're not coming in.
I'm sure Wally will be watching from Scotland. Huge swing on this putt. Won't be far off aiming the where they've got that board lying on the trolley on the left there. And that's going to turn right at the lights.
Well,
Bad
not
effort.
yeah, not as much as she thought. I mean, for pace, it was very well worked out.
I think it's perhaps one of those putts any further right and it would have almost gone at right angles. Keeping it high side is very important.
Gladys Nacera's ball down the left flank of this 16th. Yeah, hotel room in sight. Beauty. Well, we haven't seen that many old, have we? But Rebecca Artis bags one at 16, gets to 6 under. Just 4 behind the co-leaders.
Now back to level par for her day as well.
And she's another who's had a very good season so far.
Big part for Lucy Andre. Held her nerve well. Good par at 16.
Pamela Pretzwell's already played her second shot, just had to come out with a wedge for her second shot, given the trouble she was in. Still a long way in for Gladys Nacera.
Ball way above her feet as well, so this is gonna turn left.
Allez, toi. Mets ta vite. Mets ta vite. Allez. Allez. Allez.
Well, he's talking to the ball. Ale, Ale, where's it gone?
I think it's just in the
Ich habe
front
die ja
edge
gar nicht
somewhere.
sehen können.
Just come up short, hasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
It's amazing, doesn't matter how much you talk to the ball, it won't listen.
We like to think it does.
Lee Trevino, Christina Kim. There's a few of them that talk a lot to the ball.
20, just be that line, okay? Just a little bit left of it, I like, mate. Okay? Use the backstop. Good.
She likes it.
It's going to come back. Well, you heard the caddy, Mark Wallington, saying there, use it, use the backstop. And that's exactly what she did.
Yeah, very nice shot. The
That's a
boss
please.
listened, Mark.
Well, she flirted with the water here, didn't she? Pamela Pretzel. Excellent round of 68 from Rebecca Artis today. And that tie for 4th position, I should say, from Sally Watson.
Not on the short stuff for Carly Booth. And Pamela, not much more than 100 yards in here, so close enough to attack it, but needs to get up and down for her part after finding trouble off the tee.
Well, it looked right at it, didn't it?
Good effort.
Well, Reed had an excellent finish to her round yesterday. 5 birdies last 6 holes. Good birdie chance here. 17, you have to say, is a terrific opportunity. And there's been a fair few birdies at this hole as well. That's a good par in the end from Lynn Carlson. Not really seen much of her, of course. This only a second Ladies European Tour event. 21-year-old Swedish rookie. And that's a very good 3 days' work for her so far.
Confirmation that Gladys is just short in the upslope here at 16. Nicely played, but these chips seem to run out 3-4 feet more than I'm sure the players would like. Extra bit of pressure on the putter now.
Well, the up and down day kind of continues, doesn't it, for Lucie Andre? Blocked out with a tee shot there at 17, very accessible in 2 shots, the par 5. Well, not too many birdies at 16. Obviously, we saw Rebecca Artis just walk off here with a 3. And maybe an opportunity here for Reed to get only her 2nd birdie of the day and her 1st since the 5th.
Needs a turn. Tough day continues for Mel to whoever par today.
Rebecca Artis with what could turn out to be a wonderful shot here at 17. She managed that birdie at 16. Now she's got a chance, maybe the Australian, to make eagle.
What a putt from Pamela Pretzwell to save her par.
Yeah, Yeah, she's been very impressive, hasn't she? I mean, had that wobble in the middle of the round, but kept it together. Unlike, you have to say, her fellow Scot here, Kylie Booth, he just hasn't been able to get the foot back on the accelerator. Chasing it up there, though.
Certainly is.
What a shot this is.
Wow. Incredible play from there. And another one slides agonisingly by.
I mean, there must be times where she wants to use that putter as a javelin.
Yeah, she's had at least 3 or 4 of those today.
And the rest. But you can't rule her out of the equation. Limping Gladys. What a par from Pamela Peretzwell at 16, alongside Melissa Reid at the top of the leaderboard. Super 68 from Peretzwell's fellow Scot, Sally Watson. Rebecca Artis has an eagle chance coming up at the 17th hole. I think we're in for a fabulous Wednesday, aren't we, at the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. It's fair to say the golf today, not been spectacular, but it's been a fascinating watch, hasn't it?
Absolutely, yes. Trials and tribulations all round. Catching up, falling back again.
And when you consider the top 10 were separated by 9 shots at the start of the day, now it's 6 shots. It's going to make it pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's an incredible turn of events, and as you say, final round set to be a good one.
Although, of course, this is a very good birdie chance for the leaders.
Yeah, crucial just to get the placement of the tee shot right, not to get ahead of yourself just yet, but Pamela perhaps can now start thinking about that second shot.
Yeah, because we've got a couple of eagle chances coming up on the green very shortly.
Mel looking to follow suit. She certainly means business, doesn't she? Huge drive again. 275 yards on the fly, not bad at all.
Yeah, that's why after a round of 65 on day one, she went straight to the gym. That's how she generates that power. Bit of timing involved as well, I assume.
Gauche. Parfait.
Well, an eagle and a birdie, as you can see already at this hole for Nessera this week. Another one firmly on the fairway.
This looks right from Andre. It's not the end of the world, but that is, of course, her third.
Well, there haven't been too many light moments for some of the leading players over this third round of the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open, but I think this 17th hole might bring a bit of light relief. Eagle chances coming up here.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity at 17. It's only 446 yards, so relatively short par 5. most players able to reach this green just with an iron, so really disappointing if you don't pick up at least one shot on this hole. Carly Booth with this for an eagle 3.
And what a different complexion on her day it would have if she could knock this one in.
Just forgot to hit it.
Just a birdie. If she can obviously knock in the follow-up, would take her back inside the top 10. But it's been a real confidence booster, hasn't it, this week, despite obviously not quite firing today?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Carly's definitely struggled the last couple of seasons.
Because when you thought she got those wins in 2012, you thought, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess sometimes it just takes time to adapt. I know her expectations changed following the wins in 2012. Suddenly you'd become a seasoned winner and everyone's asking you about winning again and again. It can be difficult, and she is still so young, so it's good to see Carly playing well again.
Lucy Andre lost a card a couple of years ago, got it back at Q School in December. Played well a few weeks ago on the Access Series Tour, the second tier. Finished third in an event there. And that was never leaving the hole, was it?
Now Lucy now 7 under par.
Yeah, given a tee shot, that was a very good birdie.
Yeah, it's not how, it's how many.
Eagle chance though for Artis. Just a birdie, albeit 3 in the last 4 holes, and she also gets to 7 under. And that of course leaves the green clear for our final trio. And Sarah to try her luck first.
This just looks like a 5 wood for Gladys. As we touched upon before, it's very accessible pin position today at 17. Almost impossible to stop that one. That's nestled right down in the rough as well.
Is it possible to move that camera?
Huh?
Is it possible to move that camera?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I said that.
I think that was the polite request of Pamela Pretzel. You could hear that. She asked very
Kamera
nicely,
muss
didn't
weg.
she?
That's okay.
Sie hat mich halt nur gefragt.
Sorry, I'm just waiting for him. Yeah.
Does he know?
I think so.
Doesn't like it?
Right.
Ah, he's on the move now. Looks pretty heavy though, doesn't it?
It's okay.
Don't worry, Pamela. You do your job. Oh, he's got a helping hand now. That's better. Lift.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
saying having her dad on the bag. She said he's the most relaxed man in the world.
Oh, know where she gets it from now then. Staring it down, it looked good in the air.
Slightly softer landing, still chasing through, but a much better lie by the looks of it.
Yeah, you can just see the top of Nasera's ball there.
Just an iron in from Reed.
Yeah, 275-yard drive, so what this out to be, 179 to the pin. That's so unlucky there, she's just gone the other side of the ridge.
Yeah, another 10 feet to the left. She'd have also been looking like Artisan Booth at a possible eagle chance.
Yeah, I think she knew she was just the wrong side of the ridge. Still a very good shot.
And that's the state of affairs, with just one group yet to be heading down 18.
Very fast putt for Camilla Lennart.
Disappointing day. A round of 75 from the Swede. Playing with Amy Bolden and Chloe Legat, who was at a tough back 9. I understand a 73 from Chloe. Bolden, unfortunately, 6 over par today. She had 4 6s on the back 9.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Just confirming that it's her to play first.
How would you play this?
I mean, I think she's going to have to use a lofted club here because it's such a firm green. Perhaps try and pitch it halfway between the fringe and the pin and just try and let it release a little bit. Let the bounce of the club do its job. Pamela opting for the Scottish way.
The good way as well, by the looks of it.
Absolutely, what a great result.
Should guarantee her a birdie, although don't want to say that too loud after what happened a few holes back. Well, there's a couple of trees in the centre of the fairway at 18. They shouldn't really be in play, you don't think, but unfortunately for Rebecca Artis, she's slightly impeded here.
Yeah, I think she must have caught the canopy actually, because we caught a bit of her in her first round, and she was way past them. It's only 220 yards to that tree, so all I can think is
she hit it
on its way down. It's clipped the canopy and dropped straight down under the tree, because she should be way past that. Gladys really going to struggle with this shot. Almost a plug lie in the rough.
Oh dear. The frustrations are compounded for Gladys Nocera. Now, can she get a swing at this properly? No was the answer.
Oh, far too close to the tree, wasn't she? Total misread.
Well, birdie putts coming up. Obviously, Nocera from some distance. Not happening for her on the greens. I mean, she has a lot of wins. She has a lot of second places as well. 14 victories, but 11 times she's been a runner-up on the Ladies European Tour. Did try a hand, didn't she, out in America? Didn't really enjoy the experience.
Yeah, was in the press conference when she was in Dubai, and she was just saying that life on the LPGA Tour just didn't suit her.
Wrong club.
Yeah, half a club short for Lucy Andre. That hole does play 7 yards uphill.
Well, this, to get to 11 under, you feel Pretzwell's surely going to get there as well. Well done. Timely birdie for Reed. Only a second of the day. But shouldn't be on her own at 11 under for long.
And just a couple of feet left for Pamela's birdie. Nicely in.
Closing hole for Booth. ...2010 Turkish Airlines Ladies Open champion Mel Reid has had a stuttering day, but she's still at the top. Company from Pamela Pretzwell, both players with those birdies at 17, moving to 11 under par. So a 3-shot gap to third place, Sally Watson. ...67 from Nana Madsen. Second best round of the day. Kylie Walker with a 68 5 under par for the day and the tournament. Laura Davis with an excellent finish to her round for a 71. And Gladys Nacera seeing her challenge just fade a little bit here today. Third shot for Rebecca Artis at 18.
We're looking to nudge this one in close. Not a bad effort at all.
Yeah, she's birdied 17 and 18 both days so far. Obviously birdied 17 again today. Not the greatest of angles to have to come over those bunkers now with her second shot.
No, and she's also obviously in the rough, which is going to prove difficult in stopping the ball. I'm expecting to see another big drive from Mel Reid here.
Did she? Oh, she got through the tree there by the looks of it.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit anxious, waiting for that one to land.
Tester to finish coming up for Andre.
Perfect.
Just about okay. Gladys obviously losing quite a lot of distance with that ankle injury.
So the final group for this third round of the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. Down the closing hole of the day. It's been an excellent day for Sally Watson. Work to do for Andre and Artis if they're going to stay at 7 under par, both struggling a little at 18. And in their group is Carly Booth.
Yeah, a chance to get back to 5 under par. 2 over par for her round today, so not the day she was after. That was agonisingly close.
Well, it's stepping stones, isn't it? And if she can just get a top 10 this week, maybe give her the platform to start winning again. Reid safely down the middle of the fairway here. Pamela Bretzwell, who's obviously alongside her on the leaderboard, just in the left rough. You can hear the music blaring out because there's some building work, isn't there, going on a villa just down the 17th fairway. And rather than hear the noise of the building work, they've got music coming out instead. What a par that is. What a finish as well, when you consider it was eagle and birdie in the 2 holes prior. Excellent end to the day for Rebecca Artis. Winner in Sweden a couple of years ago. You get the feeling Gladys is going to need to put that in a bit of ice cold water.
Yeah, I think so. Foot in an ice bucket for sure. Lucy Andre to wrap up a good day on the course.
2 excellent pars, isn't that, from Artis and Andre in the end? Well, she's finished 4th in France in her rookie year 2011. She hasn't had a top 10 since on the main tour, Lucy Andre, but 7 under par and a tie for 4th overnight. Then there were 3.
Let's serve first.
Lots of work going into the preparation for this second shot. Gladys the first to play. 159 yards to the pin. Playing 5 yards up the hill from where she is. So still a relatively long way. Coming in there with a lot of club, considering that she's going to a raised green that requires as much spin as possible. And that's the difficulty when you're coming in with a long iron.
Yeah, well, the problem for Pretzel, of course, coming out of the rough, just doesn't know how, 1, it's going to fly out, and 2, whether she's going to get the ball to stop quick enough.
Just hearing a conversation there with her dad about kicking in from the right, so I'm guessing that she's going to be trying to use that slope just to the right of the green there to try and kill the spin that she's going to get from the rough, because this thing is not going to stop. Sounded heavy. Is it going to chase? Chase too far. It's the problem when you're in the rough.
So no such problems for Reed. Can she assert herself again at the top of the leaderboard on this closing hole of the day? I think she likes it.
Shot straight over the pin.
Incredibly, she didn't play a practice round, did she, at the start of the week? Former champion here at the National Golf Club down the road in 2010, but she wasn't in the Pro-Am. She didn't realise, and so she didn't have a practice round, Mel Reid. And she walked 12 holes, played the first round, last 7 holes blind, and she shot a 65 the round of the week. The last time she hadn't played a practice round, which was for very different reasons after the way her mother passed away in the tournament in Prague. She didn't have a practice round there. She won.
Yeah, maybe it's a good omen. I don't think it's something that she'll be trying to do every week, but...
Well, normally she's in the Pro-Am, isn't she?
Yeah, obviously she had to send Caddy out, who did a good job in plotting his way around for her. He obviously knows her game better than anybody. It's working well so far.
Well, she part of the winning Soham Cup side in 2011. I'm sure Karen Koch, who's here, is watching this with interest. She's 17th on those standings. It's only the top 4 from the Soham Cup points list that qualify, and then it's 4 from the world rankings list, and then another 4 picks for Karen Koch. But there's a lot of golf to be played between now and the end of the qualification period. And Sarah is in that top 4.
Yeah, Gladys has played some fantastic golf already this year. towards the end of last year as well, winner in India. Pushed Charlie Hull all the way for the Order of Merit title. And playing well again this week, albeit with an injury.
There was a lovely up and down at the last hole from Pretzwell, who's had her problems around the greens today. This is pretty slick as well, isn't it, back here?
Yeah, very fast indeed, coming from the rough as well, which isn't going to help her cause. This looks very good though.
But look how far past it's gone. Could have done much better though.
No, I think the only other option was to hit the pin and it drop in.
Great to see some of the holiday makers have come out to watch the Ladies European Tour's finest down this closing hole.
They're taking a break from the sun loungers.
There's a lot of good golf courses around here, not just this one. Obviously, we were at the National Golf Club the last 6 editions of this tournament, but there's 7 or 8 good resort courses in a very short distance.
They're spoilt for choice.
There is the Solheim Cup captain on the left there, Karen Koch. She seems to be enjoying the role. Obviously, she's played in 4 of them. She was assistant 2 years ago in Colorado. What a win that was for Europe. Incredible, wasn't it? September, they'll be doing it all again, at this time in Germany.
Yeah, we can't wait. Really nicely judged by Gladys.
Yeah, she couldn't afford to give another one away. I mean, 6 back. I mean, if you're within 6 shots going into the final round, you might feel you need a bit of assistance elsewhere, but there's a chance, isn't there?
Absolutely. If you can get off to a flying start round here, then who knows? Front 9 arguably is a little tougher than the back, but
Depends how they set the course up, really.
yeah, it depends. Obviously, there's a lot of tee options. The tournament directors have the options of pushing quite a few of the tees forward, actually, so be interesting to see what they do, and obviously in terms of pin positions as well.
Well, a chance for Reed, who led after day 1 on her own and day 2 on her own, to lead on her own again after the 3rd round. Well, not as spectacular as her first 2 days, but you have to say, despite it being indifferent, no disaster for Reed.
Yeah, Mel currently 1 over par for a round, so not anything too disastrous, actually. In some ways, she's been quite lucky that no one's really charged up that leaderboard and overtaken her. So if she was going to have a bad round, today was the day to do it. This for Pamela to stay at 11 under par.
Well, that bogey means that Mel Reid has the opportunity once again to lead on her own.
It's still a good day for Pamela, though. Round of 72.
This for a round of 74 for Reid. Still the one to catch. The former champion of the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. Still on course, but it's a tough Wednesday ahead. Gonna have to get used to saying that.
Yeah, it sounds strange, doesn't it?
Struggle really in terms of pain and on the greens for Gladys Nasser. Around 76 in the end. That leaves her 6 adrift of Reed. I think maybe dip her toes and her ankle in one of the nice cool pools around here at the
well did, yeah.
Regnum
It's
Carrier.
going to come down. You don't leave it up tonight, do you? Oh, you do leave it up. What's that?
Well, very interestingly poised, isn't it? With 18 holes left to play. Three years since her last Ladies European Tour title. And it's Mel Reid in front, despite a 74, leading by 1. A 3-shot lead overnight. Cut by a couple. She had Pretzwell for company, but that bogey at the last leaves the Scot at 10 under. Sally Watson, another Scot who had superb 68 today. Nana Madsen, leading rookie this year, having a terrific start to the season in the top 10, as is Laura Davis at the age of 51. Can she sparkle again and maybe give Karin Koch another warning that she's around for that Solheim Cup? Disappointing days for one or two, Carly Booth amongst them. 66 from Nicole Brock-Larson, who's played her last 27 holes in 11 under. Incredible. What's your feelings, Charlie? I mean, obviously the top 10 are a little more congested than it was at the start of the day.
Yeah, it is. I mean, to be honest, I expected Mel to shoot 2 or 3 under today and have a couple shot, maybe 3 or 4 shot lead going into tomorrow. Obviously, that's not the case now. And as you say, the top 10 is a lot more bunched. And I think it'll be an exciting contest tomorrow. You've obviously got the likes of Rebecca Artis lurking. Lucy Andre's having a great week as well. So I think Mel will be pushed all the way.
Okay, so let's look back on what's been an indifferent day for the tournament leader, but it ends with her still on top. One birdie, one bogey on the front 9. Excellent shot into the 10th. At this point, she'd been caught by Pretzwell, but Pretzwell was struggling herself, and then this the hole that really saw a 3-shot lead disappear.
Absolutely, the wheels temporarily fell off for Mel. Finding trouble on the right-hand side of the fairway there.
Yeah, this was for bogey.
Yeah, painful double bogey in the end for Mel Reid. A real turn of events.
Yeah, went back to 10 under par. And this was an important putt, wasn't it? 4 par at 13.
Huge putt, yeah. Absolutely. Not the best chip in the world. Managed to save it with that putt.
Then a good look at birdie on a few holes that came close.
Yeah, she came close a couple of times. Agonisingly close, as you could see there from her facial expression.
She did manage that birdie at 17, so finishing at 11 under par. Her closest challenger, as it was overnight, is Pamela Pretzwell. Three birdies in the first 7 holes, but then things went awry, didn't they? Bogey at 9, double bogey at 10. But back on track, lovely tee shot there.
Yeah, it was a great shot.
Rather shot in. Couldn't believe she missed that.
No, absolutely, it's really disappointing. It's such a great wedge in there.
Yeah, that was at 14, the par 5. Next hole, though. How about this for a reaction?
Yeah, she meant business, didn't she? Payback was on the cards. Great shot within 2 feet of the hole. Convert that for birdie.
Super save. She was in trouble off the tee at 16. Really gutsy putt. And then at 17, a wonderful up and down.
They're really nicely played. All those years of playing on links courses, I think, helped her with that one.
Unfortunately, bogey at the last for Pretzwell. Mel Reid then leading the way with 1 day left to play, albeit a Wednesday. We're looking forward to it, aren't we, at the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. Running you through the scores. These players at 4 and 3 under, maybe too far adrift really. But a superb day for the likes of Brie Arthur and Nicole Brock-Larson. Been a solid 3 days as well for Liz Young. Chloe Lurkin amongst those that struggled a little. .69 from Louise Starlet, past 73 here. But it's all about the girls at the top, isn't it? There's at least 6 or 7 players that'll head out onto the Carrier Golf Club tomorrow with hopes of picking up the first prize at the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. Wednesday is the new Sunday on the Ladies European Tour this week. Make sure you're with us for the final round of the Turkish Airlines Ladies Open. It should be a thriller.